There's an Oklahoma City suburb that was just ranked the 22nd best suburb in America. There's another suburb that just recently had over 11% growth. So what makes it so great here in Oklahoma City, and why are so many people wanting to move here? Well, in this video, I'm gonna kind of rapid fire 9 suburbs of Oklahoma City so you can see which is the best move for you and where you want to spend your money. If you've been thinking about moving to Oklahoma City, but you're just not sure which suburb fits best, then stick around. We're going to be going through 9 Oklahoma City suburbs. We're going to be talking about commute times, kind of the vibe, housing prices, all the things that you would need to know to make a smart move. I'm Katie Kuriakos, realtor here in the Oklahoma City area, so let's dive right in. Let's go ahead and start with Edmond, which is one of our most requested suburb from relocation clients. Edmond sits just north of downtown Oklahoma City. As far as commute time goes, it's probably going to take you about 25 to 30 minutes to get to downtown, just depending on whether or not you're in rush hour or not. The median home price in Edmond is around $375 to $400K. Now, something I should warn you a little bit is that Edmond prices are just a little bit higher than some of these other suburbs we're going to talk about. If your budget is a little bit on the lower end, say you're looking in the 100s, the 200s, selections are going to be a little bit slimmer in Edmond just because price per square foot is a little bit higher. We can easily find homes in the 300s, 400s, 500s, not a problem. There are even some pockets, quite a few pockets in Edmond where they are building luxury homes as well. So we're talking 700,000 plus all the way up to 1 to 2 million. So if you're looking for a luxury home, that's definitely doable. Also, on the north side of Edmond, we're seeing some neighborhoods pop up with neighborhoods that have a lot more land. You'll be able to find a luxury home on, say, an acre, which is really nice if you're wanting a little bit of quiet and privacy. Now, when it comes to the vibe of Edmond, I would say the vibe is very suburban, safe, clean, and very, I would say, family-centric. Edmond Public Schools is the main school system that serves Edmond. It is rather large. They do have 3 high schools, and it is ranked very well. Now, when it comes to things to do, there's plenty in Edmond. You're not gonna be bored, let's just say. We do have a nice little downtown in Edmond. They have a great 4th of July festival every year, so check that out. Also, on the east side of Edmond is Arcadia Lake. We'll talk about Arcadia a little bit later in this video as well, but that's a really nice quiet lake if that's what you're looking for. There's also an abundance of shopping and dining. There's so much being built up in Edmond that you really don't have to go downtown into the city to find great shopping or great restaurants. There's also quite a bit of sports complexes up in Edmond. We have Mitch Park and Hafer Park. Both of those have large baseball, softball fields. There's YMCA, there's soccer fields and leagues, all of that. So very family centric. Edmond has that classic suburbs with great school energy, which makes it a really popular one for people relocating into Oklahoma City. Next one is Yukon, which is one of the fastest growing suburbs in the Oklahoma City metro. Earlier I'd mentioned that a suburb recently had 11% growth, and that is Yukon. Yukon sits just on the west side of Oklahoma City, and it's probably about a 20-minute commute into the city. The Kilpatrick Turnpike wraps around Oklahoma City and cuts through Yukon, which is a very convenient way to get around and makes commute times really reasonable. Now, when I think of the vibe of Yukon, I think of very small town charm mixed with easy access to amenities. Yukon really is a small town that just kind of Oklahoma City has grown into a little bit. And so you're getting all the easy access to everything you need, but you're still getting a little bit of small town charm in there. So it is very nice. The median home price in Yukon is about $300,000. You can find everything from existing older homes to new construction. Now we've seen, like I said, we've seen that large amount of growth recently. So if new construction is what you're looking for, Yukon has a ton of options for that. Now, if you're still looking for an older home, there are parts of the city where you can definitely find something that's a few decades old. Now, when we're talking about landmarks and things to do in Yukon, some really good ones that come off right off the top of my head are the Route 66 district. So the historic Route 66 cuts right through Yukon. It's on historic Main Street. It's kind of like walking back in time a little bit. It's really, really nice. They also have quite a bit of really family-friendly, fun festivals and gatherings. They also have a very large 4th of July celebration called Freedom Fest. Every year they also do a Czech festival because they do have quite a bit of Czech roots in Yukon. And then also there's Christmas in the Park, which is a huge Christmas light display where you can either walk or you can drive through this large park. It's completely free. You can donate a little bit, but other than that, it's free. It's something I take my kids to every year. Overall, Yukon is definitely a suburb based on families who are wanting affordability and wanting kind of that small town feel close to big city amenities. All right, next up is Mustang. Mustang sits on the southwest side of Oklahoma City. It is probably a 20-30 minutes to get to downtown. Now, what I will say about Mustang is it can be a very easy commute. Interstate 40 runs straight from Mustang to downtown. However, sometimes traffic can get quite a bit backed up on that stretch of I-40. So sometimes if you're the type that works a standard 8 to 5, you may be hitting a little bit of rush hour traffic there too. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, when we talk about homes in the Mustang area, our median price point is around $300,000. It's a really good mix of older homes as well as new construction as well, similar to that of Yukon. Mustang Public Schools is your main school system servicing that area. It is a very large public schools. It's not multiple high schools like some of the other suburbs. It's one main high school, very large class sizes. Now, when it comes to things to do in Mustang, there's a ton of very family-friendly things. Lots of new development subdivisions coming that have playgrounds, parks, and community pools, which is really great. Mustang also sits very close to the outlet malls of Oklahoma City. Very easy access to that. It sits right along I-40. Now, of course, if any of these three sound interesting to you today, reminder, my name is Katie Kyriakos. I'm your realtor here in Oklahoma City area. Drop down to the description below where you'll find all of my contact information. I'm happy to do a deep dive of any of these suburbs that you might find interesting. If there's any suburbs that you would like me to do a full video on or want more information on, drop down to the comments and let me know. Next is Moore, Oklahoma. So Moore sits on the south side. We're going to south of downtown now. Moore is probably 15 to 20 minutes, I would say, from downtown Oklahoma City. It's a very easily accessible route to get to downtown. You're literally just going up I-35. Like Mustang, it can be a very easy route if you're not hitting traffic. However, sometimes during rush hour, you can see quite a bit of slowdowns on there. But if you're not in rush hour or if you just got lucky that day, you're gonna have a very, very easy commute. I would say the vibe of Moore is that it's affordable, well-established, and has a pretty strong sense of community. Medium home prices are anywhere from like in the 280s to the 300s. So there is more affordability than you can see in some other suburbs. Moore has some new construction, but there is also quite a bit of existing older homes as well. So you can see that you can find quite a few homes that are maybe on the less expensive side, which is great for anybody on a budget. Now, if you're looking for more of a luxury home, of course they're there, but we do see quite a bit more of affordability in Moore. Moore Public Schools is our main school district there. It is a very well-established, it has a solid reputation. It's a rather large school district, so there are 3 high schools. Now, when it comes to landmarks and things to do in Moore, there is plenty. There is a ton of shopping and restaurant options, so you won't have to travel far for that. Also, Orr Family Farm sits very close to Moore. This is a very family-friendly place where it really is a farm and it's got tons of attractions on it. They do a pumpkin festival in the fall. They do like I think a strawberry festival in the spring, and then just all kinds of other stuff throughout the year too. Really good fun family day event. They also have the Warren Theater, which is just kind of a huge landmark and more. It's like a historic landmark. It's like a luxury theater where you can get just about everything, but it's the historical value of it as well. Overall, I think Moore is a place that draws people looking for affordability and an easy commute to Oklahoma City. Next up, if you want a suburban feel, but you love college sports and tons of energy, Norman just might be the place for you. I would say the vibe of Norman is very like, it's suburban, but with a huge college twist. I always say there's two sides of Norman. There is the college, which is the University of Oklahoma, and what surrounds it. So tons of like student housing and just overall college campus vibes. And then there's the rest of Norman, which is a very suburban feel. A lot of people live in Norman, have nothing to do with the college, but really, really love it. Median home prices in Norman are about $280 to $350-ish. There is a little bit of everything there. So there is new construction happening, of course. There's some luxury neighborhoods that are really great, but there's also a lot of existing older homes as well. Now, when it comes to affordability, Norman's there too. You can find anything from lower price, but also up in that luxury build going up into the 700,000 range as well. So there's just a little bit of everything. Norman does sit a little bit farther away from Oklahoma City than some of the other suburbs we've mentioned. So we have Oklahoma City, below that is Moore, and below that, farther south, is Norman. So Norman could take about 30 to 35 minutes to get into the city. Now, keep in mind, on football game days, when the University of Oklahoma has a home game, that is where the traffic gets rather bad. I'm just going to be honest. Getting in and out of the city can be rough. If you are not going to the game, steer clear of anywhere near Campus Corner, anywhere near the stadium whatsoever. And I-35 runs down through Norman, and honestly, getting up and down I-35 is just a challenge on those days. But luckily, I mean, what is there, a half a dozen, 6 to 10 maybe home games every year. So luckily they're isolated events, but just be aware on college game days, traffic can get pretty dicey. So I would say Norman is a pretty established suburb. People are moving there for the college energy, but also there's plenty of people that move there for nothing even to do with the college and really, really love it. Next, we're headed east to Midwest City. Midwest City sits just east of downtown Oklahoma City. It's a relatively easy commute to get into the city. We're talking maybe 15 to 20 minutes, not bad at all. But something to keep in mind is that there is a lot of construction happening on I-40 throughout Midwest City and farther to the east, going out of the city. That has created quite a bit more of traffic pileups here and there, so just kind of be careful of that. Hopefully that is something that is temporary and won't be a long-term thing, but at this point in time, there is quite a bit of traffic on that I-40 route. Now, the vibe of Midwest City is that it is affordable and has a high military presence. Tinker Air Force Base sits here in Oklahoma City, so we do see quite a bit of military movement in and out. Now, that doesn't go to say that if you're military, you have to live in Midwest City. This year alone, I've helped clients who are military move in and out in Edmond, also in Northwest Oklahoma City. So you don't have to live on base or extremely close to it, but we do see a lot of that in Midwest City. Also, affordability is quite high in Midwest City. We are seeing that the median price point is quite a bit lower there, right around the $180 to $220 range, which is, if you're on a budget and you're looking for maybe a smaller home, we see a lot of smaller, lower priced homes in that area. As far as school system goes, we have Midwest City schools as well as a public school system referred to as Mid-Del public schools. So there are some options there. So as far as who often gets drawn to Midwest City, I would say it's a lot of military families and people looking for more affordability and maybe a smaller home. All right, next is the Village. The Village is a really unique area. It sits just north of Oklahoma City before you hit Edmond. Okay, so it's kind of sandwiched in between Edmond and Oklahoma City. It is probably 10 to 15 minutes to downtown, probably closer to 15, but really not too far at all. The Village is a really unique area. Now, if you're looking for new construction, the Village is probably not for you. It is a suburb with a lot more older, well-established, and oftentimes smaller homes. We've seen a lot of movement in the Village lately and a lot of homes getting remodeled and things like that, which is really, really great. But we're not seeing a ton of new construction simply because there's not there's not any like lots left. There's not a lot of open land like there might be in some other suburbs because it is sandwiched in between other suburbs. Now the median home price does sit smaller. We're down in the 200s for median prices. If you are looking for something on a budget, you may want to look into the Village because we have some smaller, older homes. There are homes there on a lower budget, so in the 100s or 200s. Now that doesn't mean to say that you can't find homes in the 3s and 4s and 5s because those definitely exist as well, especially in some of those remodeled homes. Now when it comes to things to do in the Village, you really are pretty close to Oklahoma City, so you're going to be relatively close to everything that the city has to offer. It's also very close to Lake Hefner, that is just to the west of the Village. And if you know anything about Lake Hefner, it's a huge landmark of Oklahoma City. We've got a lot of nice like restaurants that sit along it, a huge walking and biking trail that goes all around it. Even the Oklahoma City Marathon goes around it every single year. It's definitely a huge landmark of the city if you're into like recreational space or anything like that. All right, we're going a little bit farther out now. We're going farther out to the west to Newcastle. Newcastle, I would say, was at one point a small town, and Oklahoma City has just kind of grown into it. So it's now, I would call it a suburb now, I guess. It is a little bit farther out than some of our other suburbs we've talked about. It might take you 30 to 35 minutes to get into the city. There is lots of new construction happening out there, so there is lots of growth happening. People are really liking Newcastle because it's relatively close to the city. You can get into the city to do all the things you want. However, you can get out of the city coming back home to Newcastle and get some quiet there. But we are seeing a lot of new construction neighborhoods pop up. A lot of homes you can find are in the 300, 400, 500K mark. Many of those are new construction, but of course there are the existing homes that still exist out there. I would say Newcastle definitely draws in a lot of families and people wanting space, and they want proximity to the city, but to kind of be out of the city, if that makes sense. It will take you, 30 minutes to get into the city if you want to go to a Thunder game or a baseball game downtown. So you have to be prepared for that drive. But if you're wanting a lot of space and quiet, Newcastle might be the place for you. It's not that relatively far from Norman. There's also a large casino out there called Newcastle Casino. So there are things to do. Just takes a little bit more time to get there. It's a little bit more of a rural feel. All right, now we're going to shoot all the way over to the other side of the city on the northeast side, and that is Arcadia. You have heard me talk about Arcadia Lake before, and sometimes I mention it in my Edmond videos and sometimes in my Arcadia videos. That's a little bit up for debate, right? It's named Lake Arcadia. It's technically, I don't know, it probably has an Edmond address, but they all just kind of meld together. It's right in that spot where it all just goes together. Arcadia is a really unique place. It has a lot of trees. Lake Arcadia is very peaceful and quiet. It's a very, very nice area. And what we're seeing is that it's going from the kind of this rural to these neighborhoods popping up out there. What we're seeing is a lot of neighborhoods that are more in the luxury end. So when we're talking price points, we're talking like 400 to like 900,000. So a little bit higher of a price point. But what you're paying for out there is new construction and peace and quiet, to be completely honest. There is not a lot of commercial out in Arcadia yet. It is mostly just some residential. So if you are wanting to, say, go to Walmart or Target or go into a restaurant or something like that, you will have to drive into Edmond. So it will be about a 10 to 15 minute drive. But if you're okay with that and you're like really wanting some peace, Arcadia might be the way to go. It's a really cool area. Another good landmark of Arcadia is Pop 66 Soda Ranch. It is a unique little place that you got to go to at least once. It's like a historical landmark. I don't know if it's historical, but it's a landmark. And it's kind of like a convenience store on steroids. And if you're a soda lover, I mean, you walk in and it's just fridges all around you, just wall to wall, floor to ceiling, with every flavor soda ever imaginable. So it's kind of cool just to go in and check it out. They have a restaurant in there as well, and then it's a full convenience store too. So just kind of a little fun thing. If I had to put Arcadia in a bubble, I would say it's country meets upscale suburban. Okay, let's wrap it up with Nichols Hills. If you're wanting the most prestigious, luxury neighborhood in Oklahoma City, Nichols Hills is where it's at. Nichols Hills sits right in Oklahoma City. So it's probably only like 10 to 15 minutes from downtown. So this is probably the closest one we've looked at today to get to inner urban downtown Oklahoma City. Now, who's going to Nichols Hills and who wants to live there? I would say it's anybody who really wants a luxury home in upscale neighborhood but doesn't want the burbs. They still want to be close to Oklahoma City and all the amenities. That is exactly what Nichols Hills is. It's prestigious, it's exclusive, and it's right here in the mix of all that the city has to offer. You're not having to drive half an hour to get home every day. You're right here in the city. Now, sometimes when I say that to people moving here, they think, oh, it's loud, it's, just in all the hustle and bustle. Nichols Hills is actually really quiet. If you drive through the streets, it's a quiet little secluded area here in the hustle and bustle of the city. It's really, really nice. The streets are really taken care of well. It's tree-lined streets, winding streets with large lots, really beautiful homes, but it does come with a price. Now, you're probably not going to be able to find anything in Nichols Hills for under like $700,000. And really, when you're getting down to that price point, your home is going to need some work. A lot of homes are in the 900, 1 million, 2 million plus price point. So you have to be prepared for that. Now, when it comes to things to do in Nichols Hills, there are plenty of amenities. We have Class and Curve in Nichols Hills Plaza, which is your main shopping amenities there. They've tailored all of the restaurants and the shopping to kind of more of an upscale clientele. So you're going to find more upscale stores. You're also going to find the Oak development, which is very close too. Same vibe there. Lots of upscale, higher end stores and restaurants. So that's your rapid fire of 9 Oklahoma City suburbs. And I hope that was helpful to kind of determine a little bit more about which suburb might be the right fit for you and your family. I always say that it comes down to kind of 3 things when we're deciding on where to move, and that's price, location, and lifestyle. So for you, you would need to decide which is most important or kind of a mix of each of those and which suburb can deliver that. Now, if you need a little bit more of a deep dive into any of these suburbs, just holler at me. I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you wanting to make their move here to Oklahoma City and wanting a little bit more information. If that sounds like you, drop down to the description below where you can find all of my contact information. Whether you're moving tomorrow or months from now, maybe across the country or even across the world, I'm here to make your move to Oklahoma City everything you want it to be. So I'll see you in the next video.